Hi, my name is Daphne, and happy Easter, by the way. It was a beautiful weekend. We got a little bit of rain, a little bit of sun, a little bit of clouds. It's just a beautiful day to do some garden work. So I have successfully moved at least 7 to 8 cubic yards of mulch off my front yard. So it does have to be reseeded, but it is done, and the garden space looks beautiful for it. So I'm going to show you guys the before and afters. So I really wanted some mulch. It is very tedious, and it took a couple of months to move all of that stuff out the grass. But I'm happy. I'm going to show you guys that. Also, the garden is in full bloom. We have so many things popping up now, including a surprise. It's a surprise every year, but it's definitely a surprise this year because everything died last year, so I thought. So we have a few things waking up, which I'm very excited about. And the salad greens are looking pretty good. I actually purchased a few strawberry starts, which I told you guys about. They're doing really well because we got a little bit of rain. And had my first asparagus harvest as well. So I want to show you guys around and show you the garden waking up in late April. Also, my birthday is this week as well. So just out here enjoying the weather, enjoying and appreciating and celebrating my 38th year. It's a wonderful time. But I want to show you guys around this beautiful after Easter Monday. And yeah, let's go. The salad greens are actually taking off. Look at this arugula here, doing amazing. The leeks are doing well, or at the very least they're alive, which is great. The Mizuna is getting pretty eaten up by some of the slugs. I do need to come around and just spray them. Can we take a moment to look at how healthy some of these volunteer plants are, or spare plants are, especially that Merlot. I'm gonna have to put her somewhere. Then we do have our purple bok choy, which is still holding on in there. Even though, as mentioned, it's taking some slug damage, so I'm gonna definitely need to put out some bear traps. Our May Queen lettuce is actually doing fairly well. And then we have our this is our tatsoi, which is doing pretty decent, although the slugs seem to prefer this one. And then our Merlot lettuce is actually coming out of the cups. So when it gets a little bigger than this, I actually remove the cup and just let it spread out. So it should be perfectly fine. But here is the raised bed, late April. As to be expected with the weather. April in Ohio, you usually get all 4 seasons, and so with the cold in the beginning and then a bunch of rain, and then the freezes at night, they've kind of stunted a little, but they should catch up hopefully by early May, and we should be harvesting some salad greens. Hopefully the peas catch up as well. Definitely harvested some asparagus. I'm actually pretty excited about this year's what's going to happen this year. Then in the garden beds, I wanted to show you guys, you may not notice a direct difference, but to me it is an absolute difference just in terms of what the walkways look like. Now that I have mulch down, I actually went through and actually dug up a lot of the really tumultuous weeds, like the dandelion roots really down deep. And we also had some surprising weeds behind the fence line, which was our chocolate mint. And actually you can see some popping up right here as well. So it is a weed just because I don't want it here, but what I have been doing is just digging it up and just putting it in water so it can root, and then I'll just give them away to whoever wants it. We had some lemon balm popping in as well, so just be mindful wherever you put mint, you're definitely going to have a bunch of volunteers. Yarrow is looking very, very healthy. Look at that. This is actually a good time to take yarrow too before it starts to flower, but you can take the whole thing, but definitely a lot of beneficial nutrients in the leaves right now. So I might just want to take some of this just to kind of prune this space down. I don't need it to be all the way over there because the tomatoes will be there at some point. And I'm thinking even a zinnia here. And then we do have our green onions, which actually can be separated, so I might actually take about half of these and maybe put them in another garden bed. Not today, but definitely will happen at some point. Then I actually did clean some of this out. I was leaving a few of the twigs for the birds because they're still making their nests, but they should have enough. Look at this. We have an asparagus here coming up. Some more green onion there. And then inside of these dollar store trash cans, which I actually got a couple of years back, we do have some of the kale planted out, just to protect it from the squirrels digging it up. It doesn't do so much for the slugs, but that's a different thing. But this will protect it from the squirrels, especially if you kind of dig down deep when you put this in. We have our mugwort growing in strong. I've actually been drinking a cup of tea. I've been drinking some tea made from this at night, and it is wonderful. We have our arugula, not arugula, but our oregano growing back in there. Another little patch of yarrow there. And then I don't know if anyone can explain this really, but look at this. I need to figure out what those are. It doesn't look like those are good to have in the garden space. Do you see that? And I don't know why my bunching onions are doing this. At least I think these are bunching onions. They smell like onions, but I don't know if you guys can see this, they're flat. I don't know, maybe it's a nutrient thing. They may not like this location. Or maybe I should just cut them all back and then just see it. Maybe they'll, I don't know, thicken up a little when the heads are cut back and maybe separate it. And we have the kale under here as well. And then once the kales get larger, then these will definitely have to come off because they'll no longer fit. But it is just enough to allow for them to root because the squirrels are really digging up. Then we have our stinging nettle, which I thought about uppotting, but probably won't get around to doing that today or this year. And here is the garden surprise. Look at this. We have our golden seal, which I purchased a few years back. And every year it slowly dies a horrible death because I stopped watering at some point in the summer, but it's actually grown back and it's grown back strong. So very happy for that. And then in each one of the trash cans, we do have another kale here. Oh, look, we have some more asparagus, and actually this is the first green asparagus I've seen in the garden. All of the other asparagus have been purple, but I won't take these this year, they're just too small. Definitely have these coming in. We have some more green onion, and then we have some echinacea here, which actually can be separated. I should probably take at least a crown of that and put that somewhere else. So I definitely have some kale, which actually likes the location, and then our peas are a little worse for wear because they actually went through that freeze, so hopefully they bounce back. They look pretty okay. Nothing a good rain probably wouldn't fix. Some comfrey. I'm hoping that's a mullein there, not a comfrey. And then we have our bee balm trying to grow back. It got kind of stunted because there's so much leaves in here, but it's definitely making a comeback, which is great. But I might need to actually find some more bee balm and just bring it back in here because this bed's gonna be a little empty. Maybe I'll just stick an eggplant in there. And then for the herbs, so we don't have the blueberry plants waking up yet. If they do, I'm not exactly sure if they will. But all of the peppermint is growing back strong. Look at that. It smells wonderful. Not big enough to harvest yet from, but definitely will be if we get another rain shower. And then I did mulch this entire area. I just kind of need some barrier strips to separate the grass. Underneath the mulch, there is thick layers of cardboard, which should last about a season, give or take the amount of rainfall we get this year. Then we have, that's actually regular peppermint there. And then we have chocolate mint in this one, which is spreading like crazy. And then we have some more chocolate mint in this area here, which actually would be big enough to actually cut from just a little bit. But I'm gonna actually let it get up some size. We have a little bit of lemon balm in here, and I actually think that this could stand to actually have another plant be in here if it doesn't actually start filling out a little bit. So I might actually purchase one more plant to put here and maybe another one to put over there. In this area, I'm going to actually put some sweet marjoram or some chamomile. So I'm going to leave it empty for now. And then or maybe even put the St. John's wort in here. It looks like our lavender is definitely starting to fill back in, and you should smell this area. It is so heavenly. It's just kind of greening back up. And then this was actually another surprise this year, but I didn't think the banana mint was going to make it. It was very fragile last year, but look at how many blooms we have. So it definitely likes this area, and it is amazing in tea. It's very subtle, but it's a wonderful mint. But I'm trying to pull out the purslane when I see it. It's amazing. And then we do have our hyssop growing back in here as well. And I would kind of break these off, but it actually looks like the hyssop is actually starting to come back off on the branches that are already here. So not exactly sure which ones are dead and which ones will actually be coming back alive. Then we do have an entire area of lemon balm here. Look at this already. Looks like our thyme starting to come back. We do have a little bit of catnip coming in as well, but I think we could use another plant. So maybe 2 lemon balms, maybe 2 catnips. And then this container I actually want to use for like root crops like rutabaga, turnips, just because the bottoms the bowls can't get into. So I'm actually going to get rid of the elderberry and pot this into a smaller container and just let it grow out. And then we do have peas in this bed that are trellising up, or supposed to be trellising up, as well as some chives, which I actually cut a few days ago, but it looks like they're trying to put on some blooms. And then the raspberries are coming back with a vengeance. I mean, look at this one here, super healthy. And then we actually have another asparagus here. I thought I took them all, which actually needs to be taken now before it actually starts to send off flower shoots. Look at, just break it from the bottom. And look at that. Beautiful. So we have a little bit of comfrey in here, a lot of raspberry, shoots coming in, which is great, and there's dumped a ton of mulch in it, but it really doesn't matter because everything over in this area grows through the mulch. Then I did get the strawberries, some strawberry plants, and so they're in here. And it also looks like the elderberry has woken up and it is spreading like crazy all over the place. Look at this. It is going to be huge. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your gardens are woke and alive. I actually saw some people on these gardening groups that actually have tomatoes right now and squash, and I'm not mad at you. I hope to get there. I hope to get to your pace at some point. So all of the plants are still in the house. I won't be hardening them off until the first week of May because I have learned my lesson. They actually do need to come out here and get a little bit of fertilizer, but I'm not going to chance it because temperatures are still dropping to the 40s at night. So they'll be out here the first week of May, and they won't actually go into the ground until Mother's Day, or at least around that time for Mother's Day, just because I want to make sure. Better safe than sorry, especially for the peppers, and I have to redo those pepper beds. So now that I've moved the mulch, the next item on the agenda is to scoop out all of the soil from both garden beds and to rebuild the garden beds, and that is a whole project, and I hope I have enough time. But in any case, thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys have a great day, and happy Easter as well. Peace.